Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, welcome to Ekeeda. Today we will see a new chapter called as graph theory. It is quite a different chapter. Till now we have solved circuits, we have solved them by using KVL and KCL. In this complete chapter called as graph theory, we will see how to get these KVL and KCL equations by matrix method or some mathematical method, and we will prove that it is quite easier to solve the circuits. So let us see what exactly it is. So what exactly is graph theory? So graph theory is what which deals with graph of networks, and that provides information which helps in formulation of network equations. As I told you, by using graph theory, eventually we are going to get KVL and KCL equations, because these are the equations with which you can get solution from a circuit, or you can get, let us say, voltage or current or whatever things. So in this graph theory, we are going to see how to achieve this by using a graph. Now what is the graph? The graph is made from given circuit network only. So we will take one example and we will see all the related parameters with that graph. For example, what is node or what is a branch, etc, etc. So let us start with that also. Here you can see I have taken a test circuit, and in this circuit we want to find, or we want to know, what is called as branch, what is node, and what is loop. Let's find out. Now here you can see this 1 ohm resistor. This resistance is connected between this point and this point. This point is called as a node if and only if at least two or more than two branches meet at that point, or terminals meet at that point. So even if this 1 ohm resistance was not there, we would have called this point as node, because definition of node is where at least two or more than two branches meet at a particular point. So here this is a node, this also is a node, this point is also a node, and this can be called as a base node. Now between these two nodes there is an element which is called as resistive element. Right now here it can be any element, maybe capacitive, maybe inductive. So this is called as branch. So branch is nothing but any kind of element between the nodes. This also is a branch. See, everywhere you can see a branch. So we know what is node, we know what is branch, then what is loop. You can see here, if I call this point as small a, this as small b, small c, and small d, and if I go a, b, c, d, a, that means I go like this. As we are having lot of practice while applying mesh analysis, this is called as loop. So loop is you start from one point and you come back to the same point. So it is called as a closed loop. So these are the three basic parameters which we should know from basic circuit theory, and these are required in graph theory also. Now important thing is how to convert a given circuit into a graph. We will be provided with an electrical circuit consisting of resistance, capacitor, or inductor, or voltage source. In graph theory, first very important step is we have to convert it into a graph. For that, we'll take one example. Here you can see I have drawn one circuit, and we have to convert this electrical circuit into a graph, which is a starting point. So to convert it into a graph, you need to know which are the nodes. So here you can see at this point, branch 1, 2, 3, and 4 all are getting connected. So this can be called as a node. So this will be our node number 1, or you can also call as A. Let's call it as A. Then here also you can see there are 3 branches which are meeting. So we'll call this as node B, and same here also 4 branches are meeting. So this will be called as node C, and this we are going to call as base node. As in circuits, or in KCL analysis, we know what we take as a ground node. So these are the nodes which we have found. Now by using these nodes, we'll develop one circuit. Here you can see I have drawn these four nodes separately. Now between A and B there is resistive element, and we will represent it by just a normal line like this. That means there is no need to write that resistance. Again from B to C we'll represent like this. Then between A and D you can see there is a voltage source and a resistor. Now the rule is voltage sources are short circuited. So between this A or this D and A, what we will do, we'll just connect one line like this. Similarly, between this D and C, you can see there is only one resistance. So directly we can connect it from D to C. Again, from this B to D, there is one capacitor. Whether it is resistor, inductor or capacitor, you can represent it by a line segment. So B and D we can directly connect. Now question is about these elements. Now you can see this also is connected at point A and this is connected at point C. There is resistance and inductor. So directly we can connect it like this. Moreover, one branch is remaining which is called as a current source. Now the rule is a current source is open circuited. And so we will not draw it. So we have almost drawn a graph, but we have not provided directions. Now directions we can give in any direction or any arbitrary direction, but here we will go according to circuit. So between D to A, I will take this direction which is similar to current direction because this is plus minus and current will be flowing out. It will be going to terminal A. And then it will go here as well as in this branch. And then I can take this direction like this and so on. So this is what I am assuming. We can assume any direction that we want and we have to name the branches. So right now I can call this as 1, 2, 3. 1 means between D to A branch is called as 1. Between A to B I am going to call as 2, 3. Then this is called as 4. 5 means between B and D, and this one is called as 6. So this completes our graph. So this complete network has been transferred or written in terms of a graph, and this is open circuited because it's a current source. This voltage source is short circuited. All the elements have been represented by a line segment, and this is our graph. So this is how to convert a circuit into a graph. Now we will see what is called as incidence of a branch. So we will again refer to the circuit. Here you can see at this node A there are 3 branches, namely 6, 2 and 1. So these are called as incident branches at node A, as simple as that. Again at node C the 3 branches are 6, 3 and 4 because they are incident branches. Now what is a subgraph? Subgraph is nothing but a subset of nodes and branches. It is called as a proper subgraph if it has at least less number of nodes as well as branches than given graph. For example, see this is the circuit which I have drawn in red color. If I want to get a subgraph of this, I can draw, let us say B, C and D, only these nodes. So you can see I have just drawn B, C and D, these nodes. So it is nothing but a subset of this complete set. This is a complete graph and the subset is only these 3 nodes drawn and 2 branches drawn. A subgraph is called as proper, as I told you. If it has to be, it must have less number of nodes as well as branches. So this is a proper subset or proper subgraph. Now what is tree? Tree, we have to draw tree first of all of this circuit. It is defined as a subgraph of given graph where you have to take all nodes into account and there should not be any loop. For example, here there are 4 nodes, so these 4 nodes must come. Now if I draw a circuit from this, you can see there is nowhere you can find a complete loop, but all 4 nodes have been taken into account. So nodes are 4, so it is not a proper subgraph, because a proper subgraph is that graph where you have less number of nodes. Here there are 4 nodes, all 4 nodes have been taken into account, but there are not all branches which are reflecting here. So tree is something where all nodes are used, but all branches are not used. So again I can give names here, the same names will come. Directions also will not change. 1, 2 and 4. So 1, 2 and 4. Okay, now whatever I have drawn here, this is a particular tree. There can be many trees here. We can draw it. But these branches which is between A to B, which is called as branch 1, branch 2 and branch 4, they are called as twigs. So twigs are nothing but here 1, 2, 4, because they are actual part of given tree. Now what are actual not parts of given tree? They are called as links. So here I can tell you this particular branch between A and D, then between D and C, and between A and C, like this. So you can see branch 3, 5 and 6, they are not part of T, or they are part of its core tree. So links are called as 3, 5 and 6. So let us see it again. From given graph, we can draw a tree. There can be many trees. Only rule is all the nodes must be there. They should be connected, but there should not be any loop. Here you can see there are many loops, but here there is no loop. If you see only green colored lines, out of this tree, whichever here I have drawn in green color, which are part of tree, is nothing but twig or twigs. So it is 1, 2, 4. Which is not a part of this tree is called as a link or links, because there are multiple we call as links. There are 3, 5, 6. So we have seen what is incidence of a branch. We have seen what is a subgraph and also tree. So these are all the basic concepts which we are required to know before we start learning actual concepts and numericals. So thank you very much guys for watching this video. Stay tuned to Ekeeda and please subscribe to Ekeeda. Thank you.